We are a Berlin-based startup in Germany building music production tools for music producers, game developers, and film composers, basically with the idea being that they should stop wasting their time searching for samples and instead use all that extra time for their creative energy. Just out of curiosity, I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this question, but is anybody in here a music producer, film composer? We got one in the back. Oh, two, amazing. Oh, four, okay, cool. So I'll also keep this very high level for those who aren't familiar with like the software and stuff like that. But it's good to know that there's some people who maybe this will click with a bit, and we can talk a bit after as well. So I'll show you a quick use case of how you would use our tools. Let's say I'm a Berlin techno music producer, or maybe a film composer working on a cool summery project, and I have a song that sounds something like this. So as a producer, if I have an idea and I like the sound of it, usually what I would then begin doing is look for drums to accompany a concept, right? And typically as a producer, in order to accomplish this, you would go through what's called a sample library, and I would type in, I want a kick drum, and I would begin painstakingly listening to thousands of kick drums until I find one that fits my purpose. We call it like kick drum doom scrolling. It's a super popular thing in the industry. I see the music people shaking their heads, you know, it sucks. It's terrible. So basically what we're doing is we're turning that search problem into a generative solution. So rather than digging through these huge sample libraries and spending all your creative energy finding that sound you have in your head, you can just generate it on the fly and immediately begin using it on your project. One other thing I would mention, we're a 6-month-old company. All we've developed so far is this web application, but we do plan on also developing what's called a plugin, which is kind of like a very popular tool that music producers use so you can stay in the context of your project while searching. So let's say, let's again say that I'm a techno music producer and I want a pounding techno 909 that's hard, or something like that. Then again, the model would basically try to interpret that text and then generate a few examples for you. And now as a music producer, ideally in this case, I would be closer already to the concept I have in my head, so I would only need, let's say, 3 to 5 options to search through. So we can go ahead and listen to these really quick, see how the sound is. You can probably turn this up a little bit. Oh, nice, you can. Whatever, I think you get the point anyways, even if the sound isn't loud enough. So I could listen to those and say, okay, cool. But let's say maybe I'm a different type of music producer and I want a super bassy, long, decayed kick drum. Now it's also worthwhile mentioning these models that we've trained are quite small models, only on around 10,000 data points, and we train each modeling workflow around one specific voice. So no matter which context you're in, you'll always get that specific sound. So I could, this is a kick drum module, I could type in hi-hat or snare, but it's gonna try to throw me a kick drum regardless, right? Which is also helpful for music producers who know which context they wanna live in. We can listen to one of these as well. Cool. Yeah, that's bassy, that's longy, it works. Let's go back to the project we have really quickly, just so I can show you how I would integrate that. And let's do another kick drum that's kind of boomy and maybe like hard style to have a little more energy in it. And while I'm living in the web app context, it's still pretty easy to get into the workflow. I'll go ahead and listen to one of these. Sure, let's say I love it. I would go ahead and download it, pop back over to my software, and then just go ahead and drag and drop this into this fancy sampler here. And I can go from, again, the song we were listening to earlier to a song with a nice kick drum. Exactly, I think you get the point. Cool. So as I mentioned, we're about 6 months old. We're currently looking for distribution partners, investors, all that fun stuff, and while we're building out these plugins as well as other voices. So if you're a music producer and you want to play around with these tools or try it out, or you know somebody in the space who would be interested, feel free to scan the QR code or find me on whatever platform you own, and we can get in touch. Thanks, everyone.